You are listening to Radio Western 94.9, and this is Sick Flicks. I'm Mike.
I'm Dalton.
Are you doing your part, Dalton?
You know what? I would like to know more personally.
Yeah, I'm doing my part.
Yeah, good.
This is our episode on the Paul Verhoeven classic, Starship Troopers.
Yes.
This is so exciting. Super pumped about this episode.
Yes.
If you don't know who we are or what's going on right now, this is a pre-recorded episode of this show we do called Sick Flicks, and this is the Radio Western exclusive episode. You can find this episode along with our double film episode as per usual the following Thursday. So we drop this on Tuesday on streaming services. Our regular episode drops on Thursday. You're listening to this on Monday on the radio, which is pretty cool. We talk about movies that are sick.
Yes, very sick.
Is this movie sick?
This movie is very sick. That's why we're talking about it.
Yeah. So this is our episode on Starship Troopers, a very important movie, I think, to both of us for a myriad of reasons.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into them today. I thought we could start with, I've done this, I think, before on Outside the Frame, maybe a while back. But I thought we could just do a quick rundown of one of the great director runs of all time.
Oh, yeah. We love a run.
Oh,
just to preface,
yes,
for those listening on the radio,
yes,
we are going to spoil this movie. It is an older film, but if you would like to not be spoiled.
Yeah.
Maybe watch the movie, then catch us on streaming.
Fired up.
Yeah.
You won't be disappointed.
You will not regret watching Starship Troopers.
So this is Paul Verhoeven's run from 87 to 2000. So this is a 13-year run. Nothing in between. So this is what's listed.
All right.
Back to back to back, all on IMDb. So there's no weird, he went off and did something and, RoboCop in 1987. Mm-hmm. Total Recall in 90, Basic Instinct in 92, Showgirls in 95, Starship Troopers in 97, and Hollow Man in 2000.
Yeah, that's killer.
I mean, some of the biggest movies
of the 80s and 90s.
In there. Some of them, I would say a couple of controversial films in there too.
Yeah, it's crazy that he did Showgirls between Basic Instinct and Starship Troopers. But it also makes perfect sense. It's also that's the movie you do in between those.
I would say that maybe not Hollow, though. I think we both like Hollow Man enough.
Yeah, I don't actively dislike it.
It's probably not it's not in the same tier as Basic Instinct or a RoboCop. I will say on Sick Flicks at some point there's all of these movies will be on our show in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Showgirls for sure, Basic Instinct. We've been circling
Total Recall.
Total Recall for sure. RoboCop is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And really, yeah, I mean, Paul Verhoeven is a crazy Dutchman, and
crazy pervert.
Yeah, which is quite obvious when you start looking at his movies.
Even this one.
For sure. We'll get into some of those moments momentarily. But I would say that's got to be in the running for one of the best runs, I think, of I would say top 10. If you made a top 10 director runs, that would be in there.
Yeah.
There's just iconic, all of those are pop culture moments. You know what I mean?
Yep. Then all video store classics.
Of course. And they're maybe not, it's in a different class than maybe your Oscars, for example. But these are, or your Oscar films and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. However, these are big movies. They make a lot of money, aside from Showgirls. But
still talked about to this day.
But Showgirls has a whole different life
it became
its own.
A cult classic.
It did, and then it's been reclaimed multiple times, and is it's in a class of films that I call "You're Watching It Wrong."
Yeah.
And I don't a lot of people like that movie in the same way they like The Room, where it's it's so bad it's good. I don't think that. I just think it's really good. I think it's a fantastic movie. It's insane, right?
Yes.
It's an insane movie. But all of his movies, including Starship, have this, underlying, like, sort of pointed finger at culture.
Yeah.
And pop culture specifically. And Showgirls probably the most so, because it was made to be like in the height of celebrity, and this is Clinton's sex scandal. This is it's all his commentary is or one of the commentaries in that film is like, oh, you want sex on screen, I'm going to give it to you. And it just may not be in the way that it's not maybe in a way that you want it to be. And with this film in Starship Troopers,
it's you want war, I'll give you war.
Right, and it's a commentary obviously on fascism, and the war machine and all that stuff, which by the way, I think I would like to officially, we didn't talk about this.
Okay.
But I thought it would be fun to kind of decide this on the air live.
Yeah, sure.
I think because we've kind of mentioned this kind of, I don't want to call it a category, but like a space in our episodes, whether it's this Radio Western episode or on our official Sick Flicks episode. I think we're going to call it Mike and Dalton's grade 9 English breakdown.
Yeah, we've just been doing it. We've just been doing it.
Right, so I'd like to officially kind of put that in the running as like something that we'll just call up every now and again.
Yeah.
Where we kind of take a look at, momentarily, we take a look at, some of the themes.
We're going to mainly in this show talk about like
what's sick.
What's like, but then we'll also like, well, I guess we have to recognize the actual like themes and like the intelligent writing and the good. So then we're gonna like kind of take a stab at ourselves, by going like, this is our grade 9 English version since we have to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a fun movie to kind of talk about, and it may be a good way to kind of ease our way into the this discussion on Starship, because I think as a kid watching this, I don't know when the first time you saw this was, but I was probably 13.
I was probably around there.
Right. You're maybe not clocking all the references and all the like, this is a parody, which is one of the reasons why this movie's so great. It works as just a science fiction action movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I did. So like when I was growing up, like I was right in the midst of the war on terror. It was a big part of my childhood. It's like it was my introduction to politics, like all of these things. So I think I picked up on
terror
a lot more of it than I should have at that age.
Yeah.
Just because it's like I see things going on.
There's parallels, obviously, but I'm just saying that the on the surface level, this film works as just a science fiction action movie, and if you watch it that way, it's entertaining, it's fun. When you start looking at a little bit, below the surface,
this one is like pretty in your face.
Sure, but so what you're saying is I'm a stupid idiot.
No, I'm not saying that.
And you were super smart.
I'm not saying that at all.
I understand.
What I'm saying is,
my point is that it works if you if you don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
What makes this movie extra interesting is the satire and the commentary on war and fascism, and what, like, I pointed this out to you on the phone, but one of the moments
we had a mini Sick Flicks yesterday.
A mini Sick Flicks on the phone yesterday, but there's this moment where where the three main characters, so Denise Richards and I can't say that guy's name, whatever
sure,
his
Rico
and Dookie Howser, they're handing in their papers to see which section of the military they're going into, and so obviously Denise Richards is going into pilot school. That's her dream. Rico's going into infantry, and there's this
Doogie
Howser is like at first it's like because he has like psychic abilities, so they're thinking, oh, he got into there, but he's kind of weird about it. And then he hands it and he's like, no, I got games in theory.
And they're just like, oh my god.
And they're like, oh, and then it cuts to Denise Richards being like, games in theory, that's military intelligence.
Yeah,
and it just got me.
It's good. It's
like
good.
It was really funny. It's just this little moment to be like to equate games in theory with military intelligence. Of course, this another kind of staple or a trick that is in Paul Verhoeven's bag of tricks, and he uses it in films like RoboCop, is ads and sort of extra things inside the movie. And
would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more? So the movie has these moments where there's these ads which are if you watch, I don't know, the Super Bowl or America's television, or I mean Canada has them too, where it's like armed forces and you can do this for your country, blah blah blah. It's basically a slightly heightened version of that.
yeah
Right, and that's where you get the I'm doing my part, part, right? Would you like to know more? And you get these little updates throughout the movie, and it's a really clever way, obviously from a story standpoint, to get across information. So you get that exposition without a title card or someone being like, so now it is because it kind of starts ahead of the story, and then jumps back
right in the midst of the war.
So I just thought, like I said, in terms of Mike and Dalton's grade 9 English corner or whatever you want to call it, I think watching that movie, especially with all the things going around and happening now
today,
where it's just aged very well.
It really has
the satire and the
maybe
parody.
Not all the special effects, but
sure,
but the story definitely. Actually, the special effects are pretty good still.
They're not bad, and actually on the 4K restoration, they kind of fixed a few. They fixed a few things, especially towards the end, where there's like kind of a ton of bugs mixed with real people, because he does the sort of thing that Jurassic Park does, where they're doing sort of a combination of CGI and practical.
The practical stuff looks really good,
really great, and so some of the space stuff kind of looks like
there's
Deep Space Nine or
there's
whatever.
There's a bit that I caught this time when one of the spaceships is exploding, like on their invasion run. There's like you can see a person kind of like going, like flying out, and then like debris and everything. The person like phases through the debris at one point because the CGI just wasn't quite there yet. I do want to comment quickly on the games in theory thing,
right?
Because it's even funnier when you realize like all his intelligence and all his like smart. He's doing card tricks, you know, like, and he's playing with ferrets. He's training his ferret to attack his mom, and like,
and then they set up that bit, Doogie Howser's bit, like with the ferret to set up the ending where
it's like, oh, we'll get there.
But I'm just saying, like they put all these breadcrumbs out, to be like,
it's literally the only breadcrumb. It's the first and only time it's mentioned until the end of the movie.
So this has been Mike and Dalton's grade 9 English corner, where we say that this movie's
about fascism. Everyone,
it is, and it's a commentary on that, and it has some great satire, and it's quite funny.
One other, actually, while we're in the grade 9 thing, my favorite bit of like satire is that they're all from Buenos Aires. They're all blonde haired, blue eyed from Buenos Aires, and they really want to just join the fascist regime. It's like it's such a minor thing, but I'm like, it's just so funny.
It is. That's great. And I think too, this movie isn't. I think people have realized what this movie was going for. However, I still think if you just talk to a random person on the street or whatever, there is still this air of like, this is a kind of a cheesy bad movie, but then
sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like so it's cheesy, but in a good way.
Well, even when we played
I just don't subscribe. What I'm
I
saying
agree
is
with you.
I don't subscribe.
I agree
to
with
that.
you. I don't think it is. When we played it at Highland Cinema, little plug there.
Mm-hmm. We did.
I worked until like 20 minutes into the movie.
Mm-hmm. And
So I popped in. I had to,
Yeah,
and then I watched it with some friends, Genevieve and Brandon.
Mm-hmm. Shout
just
out.
in case they're listening. Yeah, a little shout out. But there's people after the show, like there's a lot of people whose first time it was. It was Genevieve's first time, I believe. And some of the reactions, I was a little like, like sad to hear people go like, oh, it's pretty, like, yeah, it's dumb, but it's like satire and it's meant to be. But like, they're like, oh, and stuff kind of looked stupid. I'm like, come on, guys, like, this movie's so good, so much fun, and you're like finding things to harp on,
Yeah. Well, like, I guess the spaceship, you know what? Like, the spaceship's not going to look like it was shot in 20. And you know what? There's stuff that, I almost swore there. There's
Careful.
There's stuff that's coming out.
I almost did it earlier, too.
There's stuff that's coming out now that doesn't look this good.
Yeah, it looks way worse.
It looks horrendous.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. At least...
I would rather this
than
100%. An AI spaceship.
You know what? It's. I mean, you could make the case that CGI is as close, but or the equivalent of what that was. The reaction of CGI is very close to.
No, I know
what the reaction is. At least to it's AI right now.
Real people doing it. That's all.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying like that wasn't AI wasn't a thing back then, so people looked at.
Wasn't?
Yeah. so people looked at CG the same way they're looking at AI right now. However. These things don't play into the fact, to me, to the fact that this movie is so much fun and a blast to watch, and I love the commentary, I love the satire, and this movie is just sick, like
yes,
and I rated this movie a 5-star. This is just a 5-star movie.
I'm gonna double check what I gave it,
and it's from.
I think I went up. I think my rating went up.
It's a frame 1 to.
I gave it 4.5. It was a 4 for a while.
Yeah.
And then I bumped it up a 4.5.
For me, I
said I have to.
For me, it's just a 5-star movie, and there could be a little nostalgia playing into that too.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this is not a 5-star movie, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
I mean a 4.5 everywhere. Anything over a 4. Basically, what you're saying is at that point it's about personal preference and maybe a few things that you would.
It's undoubtedly amazing. That's my rating.
Right.
Where it's just
exactly.
like there's a couple things I would change or like maybe cut out, but I'm like overall I'm like it's
so sick.
Yeah, there's like not a moment I don't enjoy.
So what I'd like to do is I think we kind of prepped ourselves a little bit. I know that you don't necessarily remember your first time watching this movie, or was it True Romance we were chatting about? But I wanted to ask sort of what you remember, kind of your first-ish or second experiences watching this and how it,
I'll just talk about my history with this movie a little bit.
Yeah.
This, all of the movies that we're going to be talking, so like we're recording our next episode right after this. So all of the movies today, I don't have a clear memory of first time watching it, but I do have a story with each of them. So,
and they've just I think all 3 of these are just movies that have just been in our lives, like since we, you know what I mean? Like I don't remember a time where Starship Troopers.
2 out of 3 of these I rewatch frequently.
Yeah.
So, this one I definitely watched around that 12 or 13-year-old, probably was on TV, but like we had HBO, so it was like they would play, like uncensored. So it was fine. I couldn't imagine the TV version of this movie.
No.
It'd probably be pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember liking it, but I liked the, I realized that there was things I wouldn't get, for a while. But like what you said, it's just a fun ride, and I'm able to enjoy it. And then a little bit like near the end of high school, I watched it again, and it was funny because I had seen this and Galaxy Quest close to the same time, and I used to always confuse the two. Just because
one's like PG and one's
I know, just the titles.
The titles,
right? Because I wasn't like super into movies.
Galaxy Quest is another amazing film. That movie's so funny as well. Yeah.
Not one I watch very often.
No.
I'm going to throw on Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
But I was a big sci-fi guy when I was young. I mean, I still am, but like I was big into the really nerdy stuff. Like I was a huge Battlestar Galactica fan.
Doctor Who.
I
know you're a big Doctor Who fan.
But like all of the, I don't know, this leaned more into my like Battlestar Galactica mindset, you know, where it's like the
tongue in cheek.
Well, it's more like, well, the remake of Battlestar is pretty serious.
It's very serious.
But it's the mentality of like this unstoppable opposing force who just wants to kill all of humanity, and then like this ragtag group of people who are taking them on, you know?
Yep.
Against all odds.
Yep.
So like I connected to the movie on that level, and then like later on I was watching it more as a comedy, and then I would revisit it like if I want an action comedy, you know, it's a good one to throw on, or sci-fi. It checks a lot of boxes.
Yep.
And my one issue with not watching it as much as I do is I don't own a copy, which is crazy. I realized the other day the only couple Verhoeven movies I own are Basic Instinct, Showgirls, and
RoboCop.
Yeah, I don't have Total Recall. I don't have Starship Troopers. So they're not movies I watch as often. I mean, Basic Instinct I'll watch. You know, like, come on. I'll watch that movie.
You might leave right now.
Yeah, I'll watch Basic. For those listening, I am a massive Basic Instinct fan, but
as am I.
Yeah, as is Mike. I've had like it's been a fun movie to like
come back to
pop into my life at different times where it's like it's maybe been 2 years and then or maybe a little longer sometime, and then you throw it and you're like, yes, dude, you know, and then you get like when that movie starts. It's like I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I'll watch Starship Troopers, you know, whatever. And as soon as it starts, I'm like, oh my god, I'm in. I'm so in.
I know. Yeah.
There's a lot of movies like that like, I mean, it's part of the reason we do this show, but I'll throw on a movie and like the amount of time, like I'll watch it by myself and I'm just like, yes, yes, like watching it, you know. And this is one of those movies. So I've watched a lot more in my life the past couple years. But yeah,
I mean, it's funny you say that. Like last May, I think it was last May, my buddy Bob was over because it was Shock Stock. So we run a booth together here at the convention here in London every May, and we were kind of, you know, we had done the load into the car and, you know, went and got some Wendy's. You know, we both really like Wendy's. You know,
who doesn't?
Shout
out Wendy's, sponsor Sick Flicks, please, please.
And we're driving back from Wendy's, you know, and he goes, you know, what do you want to throw on? You know, because let's just throw on.
Those are the best.
You know?
You're driving home, and you're with your buddy. You're trying to pick a flick to watch tonight.
Pick a flick,
and then you get excited about it, and then you get home, and it's
like, let's just watch Starship Troopers, and I'm like, oh yeah, dude. Like,
see, like I'm excited for you guys in that story.
So now we're just ripping Wendy's, like watching Starship Troopers the night before Shock Stock, which is just like
we did that for Point Break.
Yeah, yeah, we did that for Point Break.
It's exactly what we did. Wendy's.
I mean, you can't. It's something that's hard to beat. You know, like when it's a good, like it's just a sick flick.
Yeah,
you got Wendy's. You're just tucking into some Wendy's.
It's a move. It's a real move.
It's a move. And but yeah, for me, I can't remember if I've said this on this show. I feel like I've told this story somewhere, but in like between like 99, 2000 and like 2003. I had like a movie collection that was like hidden, like physical, like VHSs. Wasn't porn.
No.
Didn't have that. Remember, it's the 2000s. It's late 90s, early 2000s. Not super easy to get your hands on. internet's still a little slow.
Yeah, it's the pixel by pixel.
Right. So there was, especially 2000, 2001, the physical media landscape was interesting. Definitely way more of a focus on DVDs, right? That was like
they were starting to push DVDs
pretty hard.
Yeah.
They would
But VHS was still really popular at that time.
It was,
yeah.
But what they would do, places like Sam the Record Man or HMV, Music World, they would have like sales just on VHS to because they would have so many
replenish with
so
DVDs.
They'd be like so if there was especially older titles or what was considered older titles, they'd be like, okay, this whole shelf is like $5, right? So I started amassing this salacious VHS
some things
collection.
where you can see some things,
right?
Yeah, no, I get
and
you.
Still things that I really liked. Starship Troopers was part of that. It was not something that I could rent at that time.
You need the
not in the not in 99, 2000. I still was 14, 15.
Yeah, you need the parents' Blockbuster card,
right? Which I never got. Well, and I'll get to that in a second. But so that was one that I just picked up on physical media. That was the first time that I watched it. Mm-hmm. Once we got into and it was just one of those I'm like, this movie's so awesome. It was just so great. And then once we got into 2001, 2002, what I figured out was that even though the ratings in Canada are 14A, 18A, and R, right? Mm-hmm. Very few films are actually rated R in Canada. Even back then, it was mostly. So this is an 18A film, but typically how it worked at the rental stores is if it was the 18A, you had to be 18 or have someone with you that was 18 to rent the film, right? There was a little bit of a loophole though. You could get a Blockbuster and a Rogers card with a driver's license. Mm-hmm. And the time that I got my full G1 or G2, sorry, I was 16. So I got fast tracked. So I did my
driver's ed or whatever.
I got my G1, did all the courses, did extra courses, got fast tracked to get to the test so that and the quickest you could do it was 8 months.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Right. So before it was, I literally got it. I got my G1, I got my G2 about a month or 2 months. It was just after school ended, right before I turned 17. So I was still 16, right? And one of the big reasons for me personally to get that
to get a Blockbuster
is to
card.
get a Blockbuster and Rogers card.
Yeah.
Because now they wouldn't if I had the full card, I could just rent whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't. So if parents are away or I'm just going, just want to rent something on my own, I could just go in and rent whatever. And that was so once I could do that, then it was game over in terms of what was available to to see. So this was one of the films that both myself and my brother watched a lot on as a rental. So it was a rental staple, 01, 02, 03. So not too long after the movie came out. So that was sort of my we just watched it. It was just one of those ones, if you got the deals, if you remember the deals at Rogers, they do 7 movies for 7 days for $10 or whatever.
Yeah.
So
that was great.
Unbelievable, dude. It was the best. So you would get. So this was always one of those ones where you'd go in to get the movies that you really wanted to, but maybe you could only find 4. What are you populating the other 3 with, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, let's
get Starship Troopers.
Throw
again.
Starship in there, Throw Broken.
We'll watch that.
We'll watch that. But throw Broken Arrow in there. You know what I mean? Or what? Those kind of throw Demolition on there, Demolition Man on there. So that was so it got some heavy usage, in that era for me, and it was just been one of those films that has just, I would say, just been around and was a huge influence on me. This film for many reasons. So we're gonna get into some of those reasons.
Yeah.
And
before we go to commercial,
yeah,
can I just want to do a quick little thing about Blockbuster.
Okay, sure.
So
yeah, of course.
This is my so you understand
a plug for Blockbuster.
No, so you understand young Dalton's brain.
Sure.
I've said it before, I used to ride my bike to Blockbuster.
Oh, dude, riding the bike
all the time, right?
Dude, riding the bike to Blockbuster.
It was and then
unbelievable.
As soon as I turned old enough to get a job, I went in every weekend to Blockbuster and begged them to hire me. I was like, I want to work here. I don't want to work anywhere else. It's right around the corner from my house. I'm here weekly. I want to do this. I want my hands on.
That's how you got hired at the highway.
I know it is. And the thing is, they never hired me until I applied constantly, every every couple months, bringing a resume again.
It was not easy to get a job at Rogers Video or
I know they were
it
was oddly elite.
It was elitist for sure.
Yeah, and I was like, I just want to do this so bad. I want to be here, and I want to get paid to be here and go through the movies and all this stuff. And then, so it's the one that got away is I really wish I could have worked at Blockbuster.
You and me are the same for sure. I applied to both Blockbuster and Rogers. I think I told the Rogers story. About getting through the interviews.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And then having to name 10 John Cusack movies.
See, Rogers wasn't as big. We had one, but it was...
I didn't care. I just wanted to work at a video store.
Yeah, it was... So, Blockbuster, and then it was, a block or two up was Rogers Video. So they were pretty close. I could still ride my bike there, but I'm like, Blockbuster was just,
It was sick,
it was
dude.
way cooler.
We are
more expensive.
We're going to talk about the sickest of all scenes in Starship Troopers coming up after the break. Sick. And we're back. You're listening to Radio Western 94.9. This is Sick Flicks, and we are talking about Paul Verhoeven's masterpiece science fiction film, Starship Troopers. And we're going to get into some scenes here and talk a little bit about the movie and more specifically what we think is sick about the movie. This show is called Sick Flicks, where we pick films that we think are sick, and then we talk about them. It's pretty simple.
That's what we do.
It's what we do.
That's what we do.
Dalton, what's... if you look at the first maybe, 30 minutes of this film, what are the sick elements that stand out to you?
I mean, okay, all right, we got a couple. I'm trying to think of where the cutoff is, but I'm gonna say number one, and we're gonna have
maybe before they get into the academy,
before the academy.
Yeah, maybe that first. They're in school.
Yeah,
you get the opening.
I like it. Okay, there's quite a few, quite a lot here.
Yeah.
I like the classroom conversation.
It's amazing.
It's really good where he's drawing and everything. I think the obvious one,
which is
the football scene.
Okay, should we get into the football scene?
Let's not get too heavy into it.
Well, we're gonna get.
But we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
I mean, the thing is, I think you and I talked a little bit about it, but I wanted to kind of go a little bit hard in the paint here.
Yeah, let's
because
do it.
Okay, so.
To preface this Mike's a big football guy, okay?
Yeah, I love football, and I didn't I've watched this movie so many times. This whole scene has always been really funny and crazy to me. But last night, I watched the movie, then I rewatched
it was eating
that scene.
At you, man. It was
I know,
eating at you.
because there was things I started to notice, and I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm we're doing the show and I'm overanalyzing stuff, but. I mean, there's things that stand out in this scene. It's a sick scene. It was always just this insane 5 minutes inside of this movie where, of course, they set up this whole sort of threesome rivalry thing where Denise Richards' character is obviously really into Rico, and they're high school sweethearts. He's captain of the I'm doing air quotes here football team.
Yeah.
and the sort of rival school, I guess, or the
I feel like it's the
same
school. Yeah.
Right. It's not really super clear because he's also at the dance. I don't know. Maybe we're missing something there, but it's like the Tigers and I can't remember the other team right now offhand, but so. That other guy who looks like he's like 45.
Yeah, he's
by the
so
way.
old.
Not that Rico and Denise look young, but they're like,
youthful.
They're youthful. They're not high school.
They look in their prime,
right?
Where this guy looks past his prime.
He looks like he's 45, but he's the sort of quarterback or the captain or whatever.
It cracks me up too because like when they all graduate at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep. Right? And then they go there, and he's like immediately the superior. Like he's been there for a while, and he's training people.
He's training people, yeah, which is crazy. So, anyways, they set up this little like sort of threesome, sort of love triangle situation.
Well, 4 really, because it's also Flores too.
Right. So then there's
a lot going on.
You have the love interest. Rico is this love interest of Flores. You got this who's going to go into infantry as well, and this is all setting up this weird football scene where Flores, who's a girl, is the quarterback of this high school team. All right, so we're already in,
we're progressive.
We're progressive.
Yeah.
Verhoeven's
we're
like
woke.
It doesn't matter, right? But it actually it serves the story as well because they bring that back in when they're in the academy and like they can like run different
run the plays,
different plays and stuff while they're training. But also like. She's just the quarterback of this, again, quote-unquote, football team.
And there's only the quarterback out of, like, there's 5 people on the team.
I believe there's 6 per side in this particular iteration of football. Now, so you have Flores, who is in love with Rico. Rico's in love with Denise Richards. And the opposing captain or head guy is really into Denise Richards. And that's the whole thing. So there's this like 5-minute sequence roughly where they play this game of football. But first of all, it is an extremely shortened field, right? So, I mean, I say field, it's in a gymnasium, which is insane because they have pads on but they're on like a gym
floor, yeah,
which is crazy because it's full contact.
It's full It's like more than full contact.
Oh yeah, well I mean there's like
it's
wire work.
Yeah, they're.
So you have this shortened field on gym floor that's full contact. Now they are, like I said, wearing pads and a helmet. The crowd is like right up against.
It's almost like courtside for the NBA, but like football.
Also, and like I said, there's only, I believe, 6 per side. The way they line up is like 3 are kind of like looking like they're kind of blocking for the QB.
Yeah.
And then you have like 2 wide receivers.
Yeah.
And essentially you can throw you can clearly throw the length of the field.
Yeah.
So it begs the question
granny
is like
toss the length of the field. Yeah.
So it begs the question like they probably are in like they only play 4 downs to get to a touchdown is what you would assume. The other thing is that there is no field goals like in regular football as far as that we know. Also, a touchdown I believe is worth 5 points.
5 points, yeah.
The other thing that you pointed out, which I thought was really smart, is that the time running out, you have to get into the end zone before the time runs out, which is not how things work in football. You just have to get the play off before the time runs out. You could spend 5 minutes running a play if you wanted.
This comes to one of our favorite tropes in movies, which is foreign directors doing American sports that they've clearly never seen.
And some like, is this supposed to be, I mean, there's a huge element of that. There's also like, it's futuristic, obviously. It's a science fiction movie. So is this like the elevated version of football, of like high school football, where like and then you have the whole, like, as I mentioned before, wire work of like Rico doing like pirouettes in like the air and like backflips and stuff. It's like, dude, what is happening? And then so it immediately, and this is one of the reasons why I love this movie, is like they clearly want to set up the love interest and the sort of interpersonal drama, right? But they don't spend a lot of time. They're like in school for about 15 minutes of the movie, right?
Yeah, might even be less.
Might even be less. And they graduate. They all go off into the thing, but it does such a good job of setting up the
characters,
the
whole story
relationship.
is in that scene. Yeah,
right. And they immediately go like to, I guess, what would be considered prom, in which they're like dancing and like they know that they're all going off into this thing. There's a little back and forth, right, with Rico's parents, which I think is really funny, where they're like, you're going to be a doctor or whatever. And he's like, I'm going into the infantry.
I want to be a citizen.
But that, I would say, like, you know, the football scene is very sick, especially in the first. I would say, like, the other really sick, I mean, sequence is like almost everything that happens at the academy.
Yeah, well, see, I wasn't sure.
No, I know.
Yeah, okay, but yes, like we're getting there now.
Yeah, that
everything at the academy is awesome,
unbelievable. You have Busey's kid in it.
The academy stuff is probably my favorite.
Your favorite stuff.
Part of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's obviously riffing on things like Full Metal Jacket.
Yes,
you know, again, Verhoeven bringing the Europeanness of it all, you know, co-ed showers, you know, which you're like, what is happening?
The slap in the behind,
on Rico's
is
behind.
So like it gets me so good.
I will say that though the scene is gratuitous in some way, it also is serving a story purpose.
Yeah.
You get to know a little bit about the characters.
That's
and why
why did you join? Yeah.
Why did you join? Why did you? And they're all kind of like bonding in that space.
It's really funny.
It's very funny.
And it's funny because they're naked.
Yes, exactly.
Like it's because if they were just like in the barracks,
or
doing
in the mess
that,
hall or something, it's just not as.
It's not. Yeah, you're like whatever. And
there's
no
energy to it.
And then you're like, no, but they're all naked.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you have Busey's character, or Busey's kid's character, which is awesome. And they do, again, it's like
he looks so dumb, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks like an alien himself, but. In that space, you also they like he just does such a great job again of like going to another level with that you're caring about Rico and like, you know, who he's falling for and the reasons why you're there. It also, you know, starts to do a few things, and we've had a few moments already up until this point in the movie, but like we're big fans of the group cheer.
Oh,
there's
my God.
so many good group cheers in this movie, you know, like where you know, like during the football scene, you know, they win the football game and everyone's happy, and you know, towards the end of the movie when they actually, you know, killed the bug.
Oh my God,
and, you know, they're like, woo!
It's the
Know?
best.
He's afraid. You know,
that's my second sickest scene of the movie.
Got you.
Is the he's afraid, because like that scene we talked about a little bit yesterday, but it's like every other movie, if that moment comes up, they're like, that's the realization of, wow, we're just like them. It's actually like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. And in this one, it's the complete opposite.
Yes.
They love that he's afraid. They love that they're hurting. They just like, they will not get it, you know? And
even as a viewer, you're kind of feeling sorry for this little bug.
Because his first, like, he's afraid. You're like, that's really sad. And then they're like, no, he's afraid. And everyone's like, yeah.
And then they cut to, like, the movie ends with them, like basically Roswell incident, like they got him on a slab and they censor out like
what they're doing,
like what they're doing to him, and they're just probing him and stuff.
It's awesome.
It's crazy. And you know, so that the other thing is, I do love the like this is where the action really kicks in too. There's like essentially a big attack where, you know, Rico's about to quit, and then there's a big bug attack on his home. And then he rejoins, right, and he's got the fire to kind of
I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all,
and you know, this is where the action really kicks in, because now you have also Denise Richards' character like doing stuff up in the air with like, you know, with the ships and stuff, and the action really takes off from that point on, and you have some great like action sequences with the bugs, you know, the first time that they, you know, where it now catches up from the ending, that whole action sequence is great. You know, I dude, when guys get like just ripped in half, you know, like from it's the best.
Well,
man.
I like that. It's like, we'll do a little go back to grade 9 English for a moment.
Sure.
But the like the tone being goofy and fun, and then it's like you're laughing at it and everything, and then when you see the horrific violence, it's like it takes you back a moment. You're like, whoa, okay, they're like that was another experience I had at the screening at Highland.
Right.
Was seeing people who were like, oh, it's funny, it's fun, and then seeing them like mortified at the
violence,
that the levels of violence in this movie.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like it doesn't work without it.
No.
You know, if it was like cartoonish violence, like, I mean, it is like
it's over the top, but it's
like
gory though.
It's
gory.
Like they put you in the moments of violence. Like they get up close with everything, you know, even when they're killing the bugs, you know, like the amount of blood splattering out and like the amount of bullets it takes, and they're like scary opponents. Like
because there's so many of them.
There's so many, and it takes so many bullets to kill them.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, like you guys don't have a chance.
No,
you know.
Well, and I think they do a good job too of like setting up the fact that they're not going to win. Like it's not like but at the same time there's also like a goal, like they're just trying to achieve this one goal and it
but they don't tell you right away.
No, they don't. It's more so like they're just in the war, but then once they find out that there's this like smart bug, right?
it's once the
brainy bug,
once the hope is lost,
right?
Once the spoilers for everybody. Once Flores dies, it's all hope is lost.
Yep.
They're not gonna, and then it goes, no, the Armada is amassing. We know the smart bug is on this planet, and we're gonna go get him. You know, and then it's just like, yeah, let's do it.
And they kind of figure out this little plan to capture, because they're gonna capture the quote unquote smart bug, and then figure out how to then kill the rest of the species.
Can I just mention my favorite, my sickest line since we're talking about it?
It's
dude. What are you, some big fat smart bug? It gets me every time. Some kind of big fat smart bug.
It's so good. I also you know what was another moment like the moment you just brought up with the or that we were talking about with like he's afraid. There is a moment where you think in a normal movie this would not happen, right? So the three of them are back together. So Doogie Howser, Denise Richards, and Rico are together again, and Denise says something like, "You sent all of them in there, and you knew that they were going to be killed." And he's like, "Yeah, that's my job, is to like basically I send like thousands of people in to get killed every day or whatever."
Yeah,
and then you're supposed to like, you almost feel like, oh, they're gonna like be like angry that the
turn on, and then Rico does the.
That's what
we're here for.
That's what we're here for. Send us out. That's our job as citizens, is to be killed.
Yeah.
Right. And like
it's awesome.
And you're like, wait a second, did they just totally pivot that?
Yeah.
Because like I said, in a normal war movie, you'd have that scene where like they're angry at the
and
brass,
they're gonna get their own
comeuppance, you know,
or their own like thing out of the war.
It's like they
refuse to learn lessons in this movie.
I don't know how the right way to say it without sounding insane, but like it's like they're stoked about each one of the roles that they have. Like, like Rico's like, yeah, dude, like I'm stoked to like lead these guys and people into,
like his friends will die so he gets promoted, and he loves it. Yeah,
you know, and they each have these, and like Doogie Howser's like, yeah, this is what I read people's minds, and then
I like that we just call him Doogie Howser.
I just thought it was a good bit.
Doesn't have a name.
Doesn't have a name. Not even his character's name or his real name.
No.
But
it's a role he played when he was a child.
Like 12.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Doogie Howser is, then
look it up.
Yeah. We could call him the character name in Gone Girl too, which would be hilarious. But anyways, that might make it onto Sick Flicks at some point, Gone Girl. But anyways, yeah, I just thought I'd point that I clocked that moment when it happened, because you had mentioned the like the fear, you know, oh, he's afraid, and I was like, there's another moment like that where they pivot, right into like, no, like we want to be killed.
It's all the Doogie Howser moments,
right? It is. I also think it's really funny that, and interesting, I should say, and funny that one of the biggest reasons to join an army, there's two that I can think of offhand, but one of them is to become a citizen so you can vote.
Yeah.
Which begs the question that like not everyone can vote. Is that right? You have to actually be a quote unquote full citizen in order to vote, I think. The other thing is that
to have babies.
In the shower scene, the one woman goes,
That's the woman I was talking about yesterday on the phone.
Got you.
Okay.
The one woman goes, it's easier to get a license to have kids, and I want to have babies.
Yeah, you're not even guaranteed.
And they never mention that again, but it again brings up the question of like you need a license to actually have kids. It's the only mention of that in the world as far as I can remember. So they drop in all these little things about the world that the world they're creating is just really interesting. I did also want to mention too, before we wrap up here shortly, that there is a Starship Troopers 2 and 3.
Yes, there are.
There's also an animated something or other as well.
And then there's kind of a video game.
There's kind of a video
Helldivers
game.
2, which is like it's literally just Starship Troopers, but they call it something else.
It doesn't get to the level and nowhere near the level of what this movie is. Though those movies are out there, you can find them. But Starship Troopers is just like it's just a cut above everything, and it's unbelievable. What do you think? Like for you, like what's your sickest scene? Like, or is it the stuff? Is it just the Academy sequence, or a sequence like when they get there to when they get out?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I would also put when they discover that there is a brain bug, when they go to that base.
The base, yeah.
And it's like it's such a good like all hope is lost moment.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you see the hordes coming and like the general's losing his mind. There's a shot of the general like collapsing and just going like, we're all gonna die. And I'm like, this is so good.
Yeah.
Like it's straight out of like that's like the climax of any Hollywood movie. And they're just like, no, this is like kind of the midpoint.
Yeah. There's still a lot to go here.
Yeah.
I like that the runtime seems right for this movie.
Yeah,
even though
it's just over 2 hours.
Over 2 hours, it oddly feels like it should be longer. Like you want more, but when you watch
it also gives you just enough.
When you watch it, you're like, this is a perfect runtime. But because it leaves you feeling like you wish the movie was an hour longer so you could spend more time in the world or like figuring out what this is and that, and but I think it's a perfect runtime. And for me, I guess it's got to be the Academy stuff is just so sick to me. You get them training, bringing in the football stuff to win the capture the flag thing.
Him being responsible for the death of someone.
That's right, which is insane.
Do you have a sickest line though? Because I did mine and then I didn't throw it back to you.
I mean that's pretty good. The afraid one is pretty good. I like when the girl goes Rico.
Ooh, yeah.
He's got a girl. I like just the over the topness of that is great.
Oh, I have a backup one too.
Yeah.
Which is the TV argument where he's, frankly, I find the idea that of a bug that thinks offensive.
I would probably go with like as much as it's in the movie. It's just maybe not traditionally where you would go. But I love the ads and would you like to know more? And I'm doing my part like that. So I'd probably go there. It gets
me every time though. Yeah. Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more? And it does the you could click on
it. Yeah.
Yes, no, or like whatever. So I would probably go with the ads as like my favorite. And like those lines are like the so quotable too. Like would you like to know more? You know, I'm doing my part.
The little kid doing his part,
and then they all laugh.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
It's really good, dude. Yeah. The what is it like when they feed him the cow? They have to like censor it.
Yeah.
The ads are just unbelievable. Like I said, like it's a trick that Verhoeven will pull out every once in a while, like in RoboCop. Like I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah.
He's like using those.
That's
ads,
probably like one of the things I've quoted the most in my life.
Yep.
Is the I'd buy that for $1.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good. And in that movie, obviously pointing to like consumerism and again, like capital and capitalism, greed, all of that stuff. But just using that as a way to get those messages across in a entertaining and fun way. It's just a great trick in his bag. You know what I mean? That he'll just pull out and it just works. And yeah, I mean, dude, how sick is Starship Troopers?
It's like unbelievable.
It's so sick. I would highly, highly, highly recommend. If you've listened this far into the episode and you haven't watched the movie, go and seek it out.
There's actually, if you've done that, seek help first.
Yeah.
Because like, what are you doing?
There's many different versions of this movie out there in terms of like formats. You can find it on VHS, obviously. You can find it on DVD. You can find it on Blu-ray. You can find it on 4K.
It's around.
It's around.
It's easy to find if you have the desire.
I don't know what the streaming service situation is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because I never watched this on a streaming service. I've only seen it on physical media. So I think, yeah, I mean, like I said, you can. It's one of those, like, it's a pretty common VHS out there. Like, you'll see it out there. Same with a DVD. Like, it's a pretty common DVD. They made it, this was a big rental, rental film. So there's just lots of copies out there that you can get your hands on for relatively cheap. And so I would highly recommend you dial this movie up. Any closing thoughts here in the last?
Just gonna ask you that
last few minutes here to wrap up.
Not
Starship
really.
Troopers?
We touched on a lot of things. My takeaway is every time I watch it that I need to watch it more.
Right.
That's really the takeaway.
One thing I guess I didn't mention is how important Denise Richards was to me.
Oh yeah, what's your phone wallpaper right now?
My phone is
your background.
My background is her in Wild Things.
Yes, but it is Denise Richards. That is your background.
I mean, she was on a run here where she does Starship Troopers, she does Wild Things, and she's the Bond girl in World Is Not Enough, and that all happens within 4 or 5 years. And I mean, also on the cover of like every magazine. Yeah. Just an important figure in my young teenage life. We'll say that.
Wonderful actor, beautiful woman. Shout out Denise Richards.
Yeah. So I think Wild Things will be making an appearance on this podcast. However, I don't think it'll be a radio episode.
No. Probably not.
But that movie is also very sick. It's a lot of fun. I want to point out too that Elijah from Outside the Frame has not seen that movie, so I've threatened him with come over to my place to watch it on 4K.
Yeah,
so I can watch him watch Wild Things for the first time.
That's fun,
which would be a lot of fun. I don't know if we can make that an Outside the Frame episode field trip to Mike's house to watch Wild Things on 4K, but it might just have to be a private screening, you know?
Yeah. Should we tease the
I think we should.
radio episode? Okay.
I think we should.
So for those of you who enjoy our double feature episodes, our podcast only episodes, for February, we're doing a little love episode.
Yes.
And we're going to be doing the classic double feature of Natural Born Killers and True Romance.
Yeah, so you got a Tony Scott in there.
Yeah.
Which is important.
It's very important. It's essential.
Yeah. One of the reasons we started this show, actually.
Tony Scott's responsible for a lot of choices in our lives.
Mm-hmm. And of course Oliver Stone and Tarantino in Natural Born Killers. Pretty interesting. Next month we can tease a little bit.
Are we gonna?
Well, we'll tease a little bit. So next month, Dalton and I are big Blue Jays fans.
Huge Blue Jays fans. We never miss a game.
Don't as much as we can. We don't miss a game.
We try not to miss a game.
We're actually going to go there for opening weekend, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Which brings us to.
Well, at the end of March is kind of
it's
opening day of baseball season. So
yeah, if you're baseball fans, maybe tune in March for something pretty fun.
Pretty fun. There could be a Tony Scott
movie.
Could be a
Tony in there.
There could be a Tony. And could be one of the best sports movies ever made. Also in there too. So that's what's going on next month. We haven't decided, I don't think, on our radio episode yet, so we can't tease that. But
it'll be fun. It'll be a fun one.
Not only it'll be fun, it's going to be sick.
It's going to be...
I can guarantee you that. Just to wrap things up here, You're listening to this on Radio Western Monday nights. That's when it goes live. We're not recording it live in the studio. We're doing a pre-record, so you're going to hear it Monday nights. It's going to drop on streaming services on the following Tuesday, and then our double episode of Six Flicks will be out on the Thursday. So that's going to be once a month. It's usually, if not always, the third week of the month is what we aim for. You can also listen to Dalton and I, along with Elijah and Maddie, on Outside the Frame. That's Tuesday nights at 6.
Every Tuesday.
And that's every Tuesday, where we talk about movies as well. So there's lots of movie content.
A lot of us.
Hopefully
we're not annoying to you yet. But
I mean, here's the thing.
We don't care if we are.
Right. Here's the thing. It's their choice. If they don't want to listen, you don't have to listen.
We're doing it. You're not.
We're doing it. Create your own podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I won't listen to that one. How about that?
How about that?
On that note, I've been Dalton.
I've been Mike, and you've been listening to, I almost said Outside the Frame.
I caught that, yeah.
Sick Flicks on Radio Western. We'll see you next month.